Yes, people, and welcome back to another video on the Bridge YouTube channel where we bring you all things Chelsea. I'm your host with the most, the Bridge 258, here to give you the latest Chelsea transfer news. Here we go. So let's start with some really sad and breaking news, which is going to affect us quite a bit, and that is on our boy Christopher Nkunku. It's been confirmed by both Chelsea source and later been confirmed by Alex Goldberg that it seems that Nkunku is going to be out for a couple of months. He's apparently sustained an MCL injury, and apparently that can range from 2 months to fully heal. So he's obviously had that injury end of July, early August. So he's probably looking back for October when he's going to be at the very earliest available to come back from it. And obviously that is an extremely big blow. He's going to be one of our main attackers, the heart of that attack, playing that 10, maybe just behind Jackson, or the other potential striker could be bringing in next to Madueke, Mudryk, possibly Sterling or Maatsen. So, it's a very big loss indeed, in my opinion. What that means to me is that you're probably now looking at, you have to probably going to be bringing another 10. Obviously, I know Elise is coming in that you're planning to bring in, but he's injured out and he's out until potentially October as well, similar to Nkunku. So you still need to bring in someone else to fill in that role for the time being. I think for me, Maatsen works best, at least from what I've seen from him so far, on the wing. Sterling, bro, I have no hope for, in my opinion. I don't know what's going to happen with that guy. I don't think he's looking too good, bruv, in my opinion. So maybe possibly reigniting, reigniting interest in Ryan Cherky might be the way, in my opinion, because obviously he can play the 10. He's a talented guy, top class player at the end of the day. And if you think about this, if you have to let Sterling go, Cherky can still play on that wing. You can still have Elise playing that 10 and be the backup to Nkunku. So, you still got a lot more space and range for you to have for players anyway. So, in my opinion, you're going to have to bring in another 10 alongside Elise, because Elise is out until October anyway. So who that will be, we'll see. Obviously, Cherky's the one I would be going for. Gabri Vega seems to be on his way to Napoli as well. So, the options are getting slimmer and slimmer, and the league starting for us at the very least in 6 days now. So we need to start getting a move along. But continuing on with possibly someone getting on a move along with, let's discuss some of this major breaking news in regards to Neymar. So it was a report by Fabrice Hawkins that Chelsea have continued interest in Neymar, and they've been discussing it with his entourage. It's just been recently released as well by the Telegraph, by Jason Burt. I think Jason Burt is a Telegraph. Yep, Jason Burt is a Telegraph, and he's basically confirmed as well that Chelsea have been interested, but it remains to be seen whether they will actually make a move for him as well. And listen, don't get me wrong, Neymar, wonderful player, world-class player in my opinion, when he's at his best, when he's cooking. And would I love to bring Neymar after the football club? Yes, but I think you have to also question, obviously we're in a rebuilding phase right now. Neymar, 31 years old as well. Don't get me wrong, obviously the age profile these guys are looking for, Neymar wouldn't fit it. So would they be willing to break it for him? That's the question you got to ask. In my opinion, would I bring Neymar to this football club? Yeah, I would. I think his experience could be valuable for our potential new and upcoming wingers, whether it be a Mudryk, whether it be a Madueke, Ian Maatsen, potentially Angelo Gabriel when he comes back from his loan spell at, from Strasbourg, our feeder club. So having Neymar around maybe for the experience aspect would be great as well. I know that many people obviously he'll miss games because of his sister's holiday or something like that, sister's birthday, sorry I should say. But at the end of the day, I think Pochettino's worked in before. They didn't have that much of a problem. I think the problem arose with Pochettino when Messi came along. So maybe they can work out something and it can go all good for them. So you never know about that one still. So I think with Neymar, will it happen? Listen, this is usually this stuff. It very rarely happens. If it does happen, indeed. But if it does happen, listen, man, I don't mind having Neymar at the football club at the end of the day. So it is what it is. Let's move on now to Tyler Adams. As you know, guys, I spoke to you yesterday about Tyler Adams saying that the club seem to want to be making a move for him. It's been confirmed actually by Simon Johnson of The Athletic and Phil Hay of The Athletic as well, doing it together, that Chelsea are set to make a move for him this week. Fabrizio has also confirmed this too. They've been speaking with his entourage already, so clearly they've been trying to get the personal terms done already on their part, and then just about activating the 20 million release clause and making sure the injury that he has currently, which is almost recovered from, is back to full health from when it comes to Tyler Adams. We will see, man. Again, for me, he's good depth. I've seen people complaining about why we're bringing in Tyler Adams when you got Ugo Chukwu, when you've got Santos, etc. etc., etc. And I think the way to understand the Tyler Adams thing is that he's a good backup to have in terms of like a stopgap where you can let Ugo go to Strasbourg and develop to be the player that he needs to be. We shouldn't be putting too much pressure and just be giving Ugo automatic minutes. We're still Chelsea Football Club, we're still aiming for top four. Ugo is not going to be helping us to get top four at this moment in time, if we're being honest right now. If that's the aim of the season, Ugo is not going to be able to help us to do so. We need to be honest with each other. Santos as well, from what we've had, if you've actually done and listened to what people have said about him, he's much better as a box to box going forward, much more better in the second to third phase of play. So that's why probably what's going to be happening with Santos is that he's going to be a backup to Enzo, where he's going to be getting a lot of those minutes as well. So I think that's a perfect balancing act, and I think that works for me as well. Obviously, you've got Gallagher there as well. I think Gallagher is probably going to be the utility man that Pochettino probably wants him to be used as, where he can play him anywhere and to fill in the gaps where he sees necessary. So again, man, we will see on that one. We will see on that one that heads out. But it seems that Tyler Adams is going to be done somewhere within this week. So it is what it is. Now let's move on to what I like to call the striker situation. So it's been reported that Pochettino wants a striker, and that's by MC McGrath, and he's also from the Times, I believe. Sorry, I think he's from either from the Times or Telegraph. Same paper as as Matt Law, in my opinion. So that's where he's from. And he said that Pochettino wants a striker. So again, this thing about obviously we've been unsure over the Borough situation. Does Poch rate it or not? It seems that at least he wants another striker. Obviously, there's been this news this week about the demand from Fabrizio in regards to the Vlahovic and Lukaku swap deal. Apparently, the intermediaries are speaking again. Apparently, it's still down to whether or not Poch wants Vlahovic or not. But I think for me, the problem is going to be inevitably we're going to reach a situation where we need to remove Lukaku, because if this is the only way we can remove Lukaku, then this is the only way we're probably going to be able to get it done. And then probably the striker that's going to have to come in for Pochettino for the time being to be that stopgap will probably be Vlahovic at the end of the day. And also what we need to remember is that it was actually in a podcast by Simon Johnson as well of The Athletic. He was saying that Chelsea have tried to nudge Lukaku to Saudi Arabia, but he's refused, and that he still thinks, delusionally in my opinion, that he's still one of the best strikers in the world. So again, I said that delusionally, he still thinks he's one of the best strikers in the world. And in my opinion, I think he's a good to decent striker right now, but he's not a world-class top striker in the world right now. And I think, again, this is Lukaku's delusion of grandeur kicking in, and that's what's kicking us right now up the arse, I'm afraid. There's no other way to literally put it. That he's cooked. It's because of him that we're getting cooked right now. So if you want to blame anyone, you've got to blame Romelu Lukaku, that we have to do this situation. So at the end of the day, it seems to me that Vlahovic is probably going to be the striker that's going to be coming in for Chelsea, and that's the thing that's going to help out Pochettino as well. And I think continuing on with what Pochettino wants, according to Simon Jones of the Mail, Pochettino wants to bring in at least 4 more signings into the football club, which makes sense. You've got 2 DMs, which is obviously Tyler Adams and Caicedo. You then have the Olise deal, and then you have probably the Vlahovic deal. Those are the 4 minimum signings that are going to come in. But obviously with the Nkunku news, you're probably going to have to bring in another number 10, and that would probably be, for me, as I said to you guys previously, Ryan Cherky to come in to be the backup. Again, for me, I just don't think Chukwuemeka can work in that 10 role, in my opinion. He's much more of an 8, so for me, him working the 10 doesn't work right now. And I'm a big fan of Chucky, but not in the 10. Anyone else, I think if you try to create somewhere, maybe we do a 4-3-3 maybe, and he plays the 8, I can see that working a bit more. But that is pretty much it on that. And before we talk about the final news on Caicedo, let's talk about something a bit crazy which came out today, which is that apparently an adult website, I will say, an adult website called My.Club have apparently offered Chelsea £40 million to be their shirt sponsor for 1 season. Obviously, for certain reasons, I don't think it's not going to be allowed. A, because there's kids as well watching the game, and I don't think that, and that would probably be the first time, in my opinion, that we'd have to have an adult site being our sponsor on the shirt as well. So it's kind of crazy. I don't think that's probably going to be happening at all. And I think for me, in my opinion, if that was going to happen, it would have happened sooner. So yeah, man, we'll wait and see on that one. We'll wait and see on that one indeed. And then finally, let's talk about my boy Caicedo. So there's been a bit of big news in regards to Caicedo. Apparently Caicedo is literally not training anymore. He's taken all of his stuff from Brighton, all of his clothing equipment from Brighton, and that his agents are now like kind of pushing Brighton, telling him we need to get sold. And Caicedo's pushing from inside, not attending training, not taking his stuff. Apparently, Brighton's official position is that he's injured, but clearly, there's something happening now because movements happening. Clearly, the players now doing a protest, trying to force his move to happen. And at the end of the day, hopefully, this is the push that we finally need to get this deal all done along the way. So man, you never know on that one. You never know on that one, indeed. At the end of the day, when it comes to Moises Caicedo, we just need to be able to make sure this deal just gets done. It seems that there's a lot of movement, as I said to you guys previously. Let's just get this deal done. Let's get some movement along this deal done. And once that is done, we can actually, continue to do the job that we need to do to get all of this situation sorted out. Because we need Caicedo at the end of the day, in my opinion, by Sunday. We need him to be in the team by Sunday. And we need to get someone to be a backup to Nkunku as well, as soon as possible, in my opinion. As soon as possible, in my opinion, as well. So that is the video, guys. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Let's get to 390 subscribers. That's the aim for today. 390 subscribers. And as always, stay blue.